Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us on this beautiful Wednesday evening or afternoon, depending on where you're from. Today, we are doing a new kind of show here at XPulZ, where we're having a discussion roundtable with some of your favorite streamers or personalities throughout the community, and we will talk about different topics. Today, the topic, though, is Battle Royale, because generally that's what a lot of us are into and we're playing, and it's relatively new, a new genre. And so I would like to bring on our guests, Scoom, Stifler, SterDekie, and Jer Baron. All right, welcome back. Thank you guys for joining us today. How's everyone feeling?
Great.
Pretty good.
Yeah. Good.
Fabulous.
I am awesome.
I'm sure, as always, right? All right, so let's get down to it. Today we're talking about Battle Royale, the genre, what we think of it at the current time, what we think it's going. Why doesn't Stifler enjoy it as much as the rest of you guys, and how we can get him to that place. So I first want to talk about how much, when it comes to Battle Royale, is an appropriate amount of RNG, do you think, to make the game run smoothly? Because obviously it's not like other games like CSGO and other first-person shooters where it's basically all equal footing. RNG plays a major role. How big a role should that play? Jer Baron, would you like to start us off, since you are the one with the biggest degree here?
Oh God. Personally, I think that in general the rule of thumb would be as little as possible while keeping the game interesting. I think since all of our root is SOTF, that's what we all come from. Arc is a little bit different from other games because it's a survival game first and then a battle royale. So I think personally I appreciate a little bit more RNG in SOTF than in others, but you don't want it to be literally the same thing every time either.
I feel like Stifler does, though.
Don't make me the antagonist here. Don't make me the antagonist. Look, battle royales inherently have degrees of RNG in them. What's acceptable levels of RNG? Your guess is as good as mine. I don't think any game has got it particularly right at the moment. I don't think any game has ever really hit that balance of correct amount of RNG where you don't get games. The idea is to not have games where you feel like you're just screwed. That's bad RNG. When you've got a game, you're like, nothing. I got nothing. What can I do? And the other guys, got everything.
There's two different styles. The thing is there's a competitive side and there's like the casual side. If you're like a casual gamer, or like you're just playing like daily, like you're just streaming the game daily, I feel like RNG is fine because every game is going to be completely fucking different. Just because, like you said, you can loot whatever, like loot a lot of buildings and just end up with nothing, and you can just maybe turn it around, or like you can loot a lot of good stuff. Whilst if you look at the competitive side, like you don't want that. You want skill to prevail, not RNG. You know what I mean? So it's like kind of hard to balance both of them. Because if you make everyone get the same stuff, it gets really repetitive and boring. Like H1Z1, for example. Like if you play H1Z1 every day, it's only 2 guns. Like it just gets super repetitive. It's just spawn, way, kill a guy, die. Okay, spawn, way, kill a guy. Like with the same guns, the same areas. I don't know. I see it that way.
What do you think the solution is? Would it be like, if you're doing competitively, right? Would it be like having like 5 or 6 rounds and doing points, basically kind of like what they did the tournament with Battlegrounds, and you average out like the points overall, or you average out positions?
Yeah.
Decky, we haven't heard from you, so sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
But I just want to make sure Decky's mic is working.
No, it's working. It's working. No, I feel you need RNG to mix it up, but as long as it just doesn't, it's not mixing it up enough just to totally like screw you over and around. And I'm definitely more of the non-competitive streamer, whether it's Battlegrounds or SOTF. Like, I really don't mind. As long as it's not drastic. Like, they made a change in Battlegrounds to where it's not 100% car in the garage now, and I think that's fantastic. Like, it's more likely in there, but it's just not 100%. Because, like, I don't know, and that's coming from definitely a non-competitive thing. But as long as it's not so much RNG that it totally just will ruin the whole match, such as grenades at the end of SOTF. That was just some trash, in my opinion.
I think that card change actually, like as a competitive side, is even better because what you got right now is everyone going always for the fixed cars, and it was always like 50 people fighting for like the fixed cars in Rozhok, like mainly, and it's like then if they don't have a car, they would just like scatter around. I feel like more cars around the map is better. Like even though it's random,
for sure,
it's better. You know what I mean? Instead of just a fixed in the middle of the circle, kind of thing.
So speaking of that, because and I guess we'll go with you. You are basically known as a man who plays outside the ring. And essentially every game, you spend more time outside the ring than you do inside the ring. So people, that's what people do a lot of times, right? You go for the car, right? And then you drive outside, even outside the ring, if wherever it is, and you just hang out there and you loot, and then you go back in.
Yeah.
So let's bring up the ring. Like, is the ring system that way working? Is it working where you like just take damage? Sometimes I thought about having a ring where once the ring timer closed down, everyone outside just automatically dead. Like, is the ring system working?
Yes and no. Like, it's fine. It's fine at the start, to be honest. Like, you don't have too much time to loot in this game, like compared to other Battle Royale games. Like, you don't have like in SOTF, you have quite a lot of time to craft. In Battle Royale, like, you only have like, as soon as you parachute, you have like 4 minutes, and then zones starting to shrink, and with maybe an extra 2 to 3 minutes, depending where you are. Like you can, and you don't know where the circle is going to be. Like you can drop off like the top northwest of the map, and then it shrinks to the southeast. There's nothing you can do. Even if you take a car, like I feel like you need to loot at the beginning, so the circles is fine. It's just like for me, at least in PUBG right now, the circle like mid to late game is super rushed. Like you spend all this time kind of looting, and then they just rush you in. Like that's what the circle shouldn't be doing. The circle should be pushing people to fight, but if people are fighting, don't like rush them. That's my opinion.
Got you. You want your ring to be there, but not kind of like have like bottleneck points for you, essentially.
It has to be there, and it has to push people towards a natural conclusion of the game, or the games are going to be forever long. So it has to be that unending force that hurries along the game to a natural end point. The problem is getting the balance, and I think even Bluehole themselves, with the changes they're making, are realizing that their ring in the last phase of their game isn't quite where it needs to be, because it forces this, like Scoom said, it just forces this endless running all the time. You can never stop or get position, and it's not a great way to play out when you've spent a lot of time looting and getting your gear and stuff. It can sometimes just end on the ring. And where the ring goes, and that's the thing. You don't know where. The worst thing is losing the game because the ring has gone as far away as it can from you every single time. You could just never get there. Yeah. That's the worst thing. That's the worst thing in a game like this. It's the most frustrating and annoying thing in any of these games. Is just you spend your whole game running and you never make it.
Well, I feel like I've heard you say that about like 8 different parts of the game. So I'm gonna have to take that with a grain of salt. No, well, no pun intended.
I feel like if you get stuck outside the ring, it's usually your own fault. Like, there's plenty of cars, and it's just like if you spend too long looting. Like, I personally, I think the ring in PUBG or PUBG or Battlegrounds, whatever you want to call it, is I love how it works. That it moves super fast at first, doesn't do much damage, but then it goes slower and it does more and more and more throughout the game. I definitely think it still goes a little bit faster, and they said they slowed down the last 2 rings in the last patch. But I feel like you're never in a spot to where like, oh, I spawned on the south side of the map and it's northwest. I'm never gonna get there. No, like you can always get there. You just might end up with a pistol and a shotgun.
Yeah.
No, I don't see that as an issue. You always can get to the circle. It's just like the first few zones is fine. Like you can find a car and you can like heal it. It's just the middle part. The middle part for me is the worst. Like once you get in the circle and then it shrinks like on the other side. Like, you know, maybe you already ditched the car, or like people are fighting and you're in the mix of battles and stuff, and then everyone's moving because the fucking car, like everyone's dumping. Yo, you're looking to the right, you're looking to the left, the guys looking at each other. We're gonna shoot at each other. No, we're not. You know, like that part is like super rushed to me, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, it kind of feels like you have a common enemy at that point, right?
Yeah.
So like you see other people, but you're like, fuck it, the ring's here. You know what I'm saying? It's like the ring becomes the biggest enemy.
Another worst thing, I'm going to add it to my the worst things list, is the guy that's just sitting there that's going to die to the ring, but he only wants to kill you before he dies to the ring. That makes me throw keyboards across the room. He knows he's going to die to the ring. He's going to die. You watch the screen and he dies next, but he's killed you first.
Yeah.
But why? Why did you do this?
To ruin your day, Stifler. To ruin your day.
So you could finish one place above me. Why'd you do it? Why? I just want to grab him and shake him to death.
That's why I feel like vision through the gas should be a thing, in my opinion. Like right now, you can clearly see from outside the circle, which I think it's an issue.
That'd actually be a really good idea. I hadn't really considered that.
Like vision impaired, or like a sway on your gun, like a massive sway or something that you can't control, or like reduced damage or something. I don't know. They should change something, because those fuckboys that just stay there behind the tree, the zone moves, and then you have to run, and they don't run, and you both die. That's horrible.
Speaking of the ring, it looks like Stifler just got taken out. The ring closed in.
Something fell off my fridge. I'm sorry.
So we're down to 3 people now, I guess. Scoom, Jer Baron, and SterDekie. Jer Baron, you play both. What do you think? We'll just compare Battlegrounds and SOTF, since we both know them. What do you think that SOTF did right and not did right with the ring, and what do you think that Battleground does and doesn't?
Well, I've been more of a spectator of PUBG than a player, but I think they both do essentially the same thing. After SOTF changed the ring from what it used to be with the timer and everything, I think the RNG is what I've seen is the main complaint against PUBG. So SOTF, it's predictable. It's the same ring every single game. You know exactly where it's going. You know if you're teching at a particular spot, it's going to be there at a particular time in that same game mode. And with PUBG, like I'm not sure I see the point in having an RNG or such a wide RNG like difference between where it's going to shrink to, unless it's only to mitigate against camping, in which case I think you've got a larger mechanic problem or a game style problem.
I've been told off for calling it camping. I've been told it's strategical play.
Yeah. I think
I got told off for that.
I think the one major difference that would make a big difference, and I'm not advocating for one or the other, is that you can heal outside the ring in PUBG, whereas you cannot in SOTF, which they did on purpose to prevent exactly that kind of thing.
But you can still tech outside the ring like Scoom does, with the saber running back down the ramp and teching. Like
you could actually heal too. You could actually heal in SOTF if you just get a saber. You would just run in medical brew, run out medical brew, and stuff like that.
Yeah, this guy's still teching at Dekie's spot after like 2 hail to the game like that.
In SOTF, we call that essential strat.
Yeah.
I'm
sorry.
He's not even here right now.
Are you though?
He's a child.
Are you
a child. Yeah,
I'm not really sorry.
No,
sorry, not sorry. I think it's hard to compare SOTF and its ring to any other game, though, because SOTF is just so entirely different. You all start at a static point. The ring moves in at a static speed at a static time every single game in exactly the same fashion, and you always end at exactly the same place. It creates that level of predictability around it, where SOTF, for me, is more about the strategy and what you're going to pull off than the RNG. Weirdly enough, drops have RNG, the dinosaurs you find might have RNG, but you can go into an SOTF game with a specific strategy and you're going to pull that shit off. But I think it's harder in, King of the Kill or Battlegrounds, because you just a lot of times have to take what you find and take where you're going and where's the ring going to be. It creates that extra randomness where you can have an outward strategy, but if you don't find a car and a 4X and your strategy was to kill everyone with a car and 4X, you're fucked, didn't you?
Yeah,
sorry, buggered. I probably shouldn't say swear.
Most of the games are way more linear than in my opinion, than SOTF. SOTF, you could do dinosaurs, you could do tech, you could do whatever you wanted. I mean, PUBG or anything else is just, loot guns. So they have to have the ring RNG in that with how linear the rest of the game is, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Do you think you guys think Battle Royale genre would be better if it had more depth, as you said, you point out with SOTF, different variations of it?
I think the more depth you put in it, the less of you appeal, the less mass appeal you have.
Mm-hmm.
You only have to look at SOTF. You have less mass appeal. The harder you make a game, the more strategy and the more difficult it is. The most popular games in the world are simple games. I'm not doing any disrespect. They've got very high skill ceilings, but they're simple games. League of Legends, CSGO, Overwatch, they are simple games at their core with very high skill ceilings.
Yeah, agreed.
You make it complicated and you turn off a lot of people. You immediately turn off a huge amount of players. And without a player base, you just end up with, 180 people.
That's like, that's like.
Or you mean like a Scoom stream, essentially, where the people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like Ark. Like Ark Survival Evolved was extremely popular. They used to get 80,000 concurrent players, and then SOTF at 500, maybe 600, 1K at max. It's just too steep of a learning curve for a new player to just come in. Even for an Ark Survival Evolved player to come in, it was hard for them. And the same thing in Arma 3. Like Arma 3 has a lot of concurrent players, like overall Arma 3. And if you look at the Battle Royale, they're more or less the same as SOTF. It's because the Arma 3 Battle Royale is very hardcore, hard to learn with all the guns and stuff like that. And PUBG basically simplified it. They made it like H1Z1 style. And that's what people like. That's what the majority are casuals. They like basic stuff. They just like to drop in and shoot, Do
you think there'll be other games that come out that kind of even simplified even more? Like kind of do like
simplify it even more.
You could do
start with all the guns and armor.
So basically what you could do like Heroes of the Storm is Dota for dummies, you know what I'm saying? You think that somebody will make a Dota for dummies essentially for Battle Royale, and it would be even immensely popular. More so.
That's what H1Z1 is, I guess.
Yeah, I see that.
H1Z1 is basically that,
basic. Yeah. Anyone can jump in H1Z1 and do okay in the first few hours. Get a kill or something, Yeah.
Well, speak for yourself.
I think the thing is as well, and I was thinking about this when I was thinking about the show, so I did actually I thought about stuff, but can you believe this? I know.
Preparation.
Is that, not every game has to be a pro game. It used to be the gold standard for a game was it would have to have a pro game and a pro scene, because that was the only way you could really make it. I've been doing around this shit for 20 years now. So that was it. It was always it had to have a pro game. It had to have a pro scene, pro game, tournaments, money, and the rest of it. But there's a very different way now. You can stream games and not be any good at them and still make a living from it. So I don't think games have to move towards that pro game. They can just be fun, and they can have RNG, and they can have bits like that. They don't have to move consistently towards this pro gaming idea anymore. I don't think so, anyway. I think there is a room now for games that are fun and competitive, but not necessarily incredibly balanced towards a pro game. And I wasn't talking about anyone in particular.
You've been doing this for how long?
I wasn't saying anything there about names or anything. But,
Yeah.
I would love to see a really competitive, balanced... I'd love to see a really competitive, balanced Battle Royale game. I would love to see what that would look like. A totally balanced AAA Battle Royale
what
game.
do you like? What is balanced for you? No RNG?
I think
there's always going to be RNG.
I think, that's the thing. I think they're inexplicably linked, aren't they? If you're honest, they are. They're linked. RNG and Battle Royale are linked.
Battle Royale is like I always refer. It's like poker tournaments. That's Battle Royale. You can be as good as you want, but if you play a poker tournament with with fish players or a really good, you don't know who's gonna win. That's Battle Royale.
Well, what we were saying or indicating earlier though is that one of the things that we lost Trey. One of the things that made SOTF better was when they found a better balance for how much you get punished for the RNG. So when they reduced the mega cold and mega heat, if RNG has the ability to completely changed the entire course of a game, I think you've broken it. But if it rewards people for being able to adapt and other things like that, then I think you've got a balanced game.
Yeah. I actually like the mega. I mean the mega cold, the previous before they nerfed it and they make it weaker. I actually like the one that was like a danger, like the survive, like the mega hot, like mega heat and mega cold were actually like you had to do something about it. Like after they fixed it, it was like, hey, whatever.
Yeah, but it made it significantly different.
Yeah,
depending on where you were on the map.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was worse.
Mm-hmm. But like if you look at the initial tournaments, like the Last Stand, the natural selection. I don't know if you SterDekie and stuff. You were around there. I know Jer Baron was. Yeah. Like those days, the mega key and mega cold like were really deadly. Like, you would see a lot of people dying, like even good players sometimes dying, because if you get caught in the bad like spot, like you would get like screwed. But obviously players got better to like negate it in the future, but they changed it in a way that it was like, it was more PvP than PvE, even though SOTF should have been a bit of both, you know? It should have been also PvE, in my opinion.
So, go ahead.
Oh, you go ahead. You got a point.
I was gonna take over for Trey since he's not here, but if you had something else.
You're gonna take over for him. You were gonna...
Well, I move the conversation.
You're gonna go get a suit on quickly? I mean...
Yeah, I'll be right.
You can change on stream if you want.
I don't own a scarf, but...
Go get a scarf.
We all gonna talk about if SOTF's coming back, because that's all I ever hear in my chat ever is Wildcard's coming back to it. And I'm all like, I don't believe it.
How can it come back? They dumped $500,000 into that game over a year and it didn't get any traction. Now I'm just going to be straight down the middle. They dumped $500,000 into that game. $500,000. It had 300 players at the end.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How can you come back from that? What footing is there for it? I wish it would. I like the game. I still play the game. I actually genuinely like SOTF. I still do. I still think it offers something that no other game does for me. None of them offer quite the same experience SOTF does. They
would have to completely revamp it. Like completely. Like rework everything.
Just every day there's a new rumor that Jat wore SOTF shirt on a stream, or that somebody photoshopped some other thing saying that it's confirmed, or Panda tweeted something out about it not being worked on right now. It's just there's always a rumor on. I'm not convinced.
Until Ark Survival Evolved has been fully released, I don't see SOTF.
Yeah, anyway. For sure.
So if Ark Survival Evolved releases, then yeah.
One question, I mean, so I don't want to see it come back as an esport in any capacity, right? But if they did revamp it, I mean, don't you think that there would be enough renewed interest that at least the player base would become sustainable again? That people could stream it, that people could, not have to wait 30 minutes to get into a twos or something like that?
No idea.
How do you overcome the inherent difficulty of playing SOTF versus other games? Other games, you jump in, you pick up a gun, you start shooting at people.
It's the new players coming into Ark is SOTF's issue, because the players are always there. Like the regulars were always playing. I mean, for the later part, I got really bored because of the Survival League, and I got burnt out. Like pretty much everyone got burnt out because of the Survival League, so we didn't really enjoy it that much. But like the player pool was always there. There's just no new players really. Like no one can come in. They would just jump in maybe like sometimes and die at the beach to a decent player, and then they're over. They uninstall because they're just getting wrecked.
Yeah.
Like time to make piranhas.
How many of those players do you think never got past mid? Those new players. There's probably loads of them. They probably never even got past mid ever.
Yeah.
And then uninstalled it after maybe 5 or 6 games or whatever. Like I can't get past mid.
I think it reinforces your point too, Steph, because the reason you can't come back is because they were banking. I remember Jat's attitude towards the beginning, and they were banking on a big immediate push of players that would allow them to do actual genuine matchmaking, and that never happened. They never got the numbers for it.
I think there was a combination of the fact that Survival Evolved is an absolute monster of a game on Steam. It is huge. It is a testament to Wildcard. They've created this one-in-a-lifetime sandbox survival game that no one else can compare to. Rust can't, DayZ can't. No one can touch that game, and it has an absolutely amazing, dedicated following. And I think Wildcard thought they could just chuck money at SOTF, and it would just be there. Big community, boom, game going. But the truth is that people who play SE for the reasons they play SE, and the people who would play SOTF play SOTF for different reasons.
Exactly.
And they're very different players, and as was totally proved, they don't go the other way, generally.
Yeah, I was gonna say like the majority of the players in Ark Survival Evolved like grinding, they like the farming, they like the PvE, I guess, maybe the PvP of raiding, but they don't like the actual battle royale, jump in, fight and stuff, In
a nutshell, a lot of Survival Evolved is the amount of time you're willing to put in. You can just steamroller people if you're willing to put time in.
Yeah.
The PvP in Survival Evolved is very much about grinding and time investment and things like that. SOTF is everyone starts with the same shit and your skill drags you through to the end. And that appeals to very different players. And it did. It just had no pull through. I mean, they had big tournaments. They had Bike Man casting it to start with. There was, big streamers involved. You had all sorts of serious gaming, all these people playing it to start with. And they really did. They had a big push and a big thing, but they just never got any traction because it's just an inherently different game from Survival Evolved and requires a different skill set, a different mindset, the whole thing. So I don't know. I don't know what they do. I think SOTF is a fantastic game. I have no idea.
I think it's one of my favorite games.
I have no idea how you bring that game back and turn that into something that people want to play. I couldn't tell you. I honestly couldn't. Because I just don't know. It's just too difficult a game.
Yeah.
So, your buddy Stiff Confucius is wondering.
Oh, here we go.
But I'll ask Decky first, since I think he's been waiting to join to jump in. What's the deal? So, what's the dynamic that we can describe? Like, how does stream sniping factor into battle royale as a genre?
I don't know. I think it's kind of hard to, avoid. Like PUBG said that they were working on something that would help counter it. And honestly, I don't know what it is other than a high population and games popping off and having it off screen when you hit the play button. I don't really have to deal with that. SOTF is terrible just because there's only one game ever going on at a time. I don't know a fix for that. And I think it's going to be there no matter what. But apparently, PUBG, apparently they got something that they're planning, but I really don't see how you can counter it. It's part of it.
The only way is with active admins that specifically look after the game, take care of it, look at reports, the ability to report people for doing it. That's the only way. It's a human interaction thing. It's a admin thing. It's a taking it seriously. And what it is actually is annihilating people that do it to the point where it sends a message where other people don't want to do it. It's the same conundrum with cheating. You basically just set your stall out early. You say this shit is not going to happen in any way or form, and that's it.
Just put a delay, bro.
Yeah.
That's
play with
great.
a 10-minute delay.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Fuck your chat and talking to them. Play with a 10-minute delay.
The problem with the admin thing that I see being an issue is that so many people always used to come to my stream on SOTF and be like, man, I got teamed up on, man, I got stream sniped. And I'm like, I don't think you did, dude. If you're on a Rex and there's two guys on the ground, they're going to focus you. That doesn't mean they're teaming. They fight each other after that. If it's a three-way fight, somebody's going to have two guys fighting them. Or, you may have been on the corner of the map sitting in a bush. Somebody might walk by. I'm not saying stream sniping doesn't happen. I just feel like it's hard to moderate that with the chance, with there always being a chance of somebody just walking up on you or, being in a fight where you get teamed up on for a second. But that doesn't mean teaming, in my opinion.
Yeah, I got given...
They're going to do it.
I got given a lot of videos and reports of teamers and stuff like that in SOTF, and when I watched them, it didn't look like sniping or teaming at all. When I watched it, and for them it was obvious, but it's hard to prove. I feel like you said you can't really counter it. There's nothing you can do to prevent people stream sniping, but you can do it aftermath. Once they stream sniping, you can report. For example, if you think a guy's stream sniping, you just report this player. I don't know if you guys saw the 2D system or the armor-free Battle Royale match reports.
Yeah.
They have a system where they show each player's direction. So, for example, let's say, Stifler. I think Stifler is stream sniping me, so I report him. And then you go to, once he gets a lot of reports, for example, or maybe even just one, depending, who reports, right? You see his match report, and then you can just go to every game he's played, and you see him, he's gone to Scoom's game, every single game. He's gone to his location. And then you just ban him. You just get maybe an Overwatch system, like CSGO, trusted players or the top players, just look at the game, a few reports and see, his pathway in this guy's games, and just ban him that way. I think that's the only way you can really counter out stream sniping, in my opinion.
And that would work for teaming as well.
Yeah.
That's what they did in Arma teaming. Yeah, they had that system, and they would automatically ban. There was no report system. They had a bot that would ban when two players was beside each other for so long in the path. It's pretty cool.
I've seen that. That's a pretty good system to also. But
I'm
it's
pretty
one
sure
of
they're
the
gonna
things.
add that.
If somebody's determined to throw their account away and stuff, it's like cheating or anything else. They'll still do it, even so. The only counter is to keep knocking over accounts so it becomes financially unviable for them to do it. That's the only way you can deal with this. You have to take it and you have to be serious. And you have to do it from the start and you have to be serious. Same with cheating, same with anything else. If you just half measures and half arseness, people will just abuse it and do it. So you either have to go all in and say, right, you're not stream sniping, you're not teaming, you're not cheating. None of those things. They're all just banned and you'll be banned. Your account will be removed and it'll be gone.
That's what SCTF did wrong. They made SCTF free, and people made like a shit ton of accounts to stream snipe, to smurf, and that was a big mistake. Like they should, the game should be more or less the same price. Sometimes make it cheaper, but like CS:GO has a lot of cheating issues because sometimes it goes on sale right away. It's really cheap where you can just buy a lot of accounts and just keep cheating. That's gonna be an issue. Hopefully PUBG like stays, in my opinion, at a decent price so that it doesn't make it worth buying cheats and getting banned and buying it again, you know?
It's the same thing they have with H1Z1 as well. Every game like that goes cheaper on sale, you get this big wave of people coming to cheat. You'll notice that the least cheated games in the world online are Blizzard games because you know what Blizzard do? They annihilate your account. Their games remain expensive. You have to spend a long time before you can even play ranked. Yeah? You have to invest, 30 levels before you can even play ranked in Overwatch?
Yeah.
So why would someone want to cheat in that? Their entire account's getting banned. You get hardware ID banned as well, which is not even like it's a simple thing of getting another account and stuff. You know, they really go all out, and people are scared. People are actually scared when that new game, I can't think what it's called, but it's been released on Battle.net. What's the new game that's coming out? It's been released on Battle.net. Christ.
Destiny 2.
Yeah. When Destiny 2 came out, all the comments I saw, people were like, "Oh, I'm so happy this is going to the Blizzard platform because people aren't going to cheat." That was it. It was just people aren't going to cheat. People aren't going to cheat. People aren't going to cheat because they know that when you use a platform like that, you will just get destroyed.
Yeah.
And Blizzard actively go after people. Actually, to be fair, Daybreak do as well. Blizzard and Daybreak both sue any cheat makers, so they won't even sell them. So the only thing you get then are really underground private hacks, and that's what you've got to do. You've got to push these people all the way underground. You know,
to the point where most of them won't go.
Yeah. So the point where it's too difficult. So the point where if they get one person in that's the wrong person, he gives the information out, then their whole group dies. So they're really careful about it and things like that. That's the point. Yeah.
So
you have to set your stall out early. You have to do it from the start and say, this is it. We're not accepting this behavior. Done.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just screwed. Bluehole are quite good with cheating, by the way, guys. They do the same thing Daybreak do. They sue cheat makers.
Who?
The guys who make
Bluehole. Okay, yeah, Bluehole, yeah.
Yeah, they're going around. They're going around suing cheat makers and stuff as well. So they're doing the same thing. This is why Battlegrounds is not totally overrun by hackers at the moment because they're taking it seriously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've only seen like the lag switching. I haven't experienced any cheating yet, like personally. I feel like
not
lag
that.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of videos on people cheating, but like it hasn't been like too common.
Well, there was the one where people were insta-killing you while you were falling, right?
I think that was a lag switch.
That
was a bug in the lobby, right?
That was a bug? That wasn't a cheat?
I heard it was a bug in the lobby. Like you would stay in the lobby and everyone's like standing or something and you can punch them if they're be nearby. I think that's what I heard, but I could be wrong.
People would be in the planes and stuff, but you'd be in the lobby and the person's body would be in front of you and you'd be I've seen it, and they'd just be punching them and they die.
And that's why they died when they fell.
That's why I always jump in the water. Jump in the water in the lobby and you're good. Because they can't punch you in the water, so.
Right.
Yeah.
See, Scoom knows it all. He's got this all on lockdown.
Smart.
That's it, man. Somebody hire this guy. I feel like we should probably talk about ELO in a discussion of Battle Royale.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I don't know anything about that.
I don't have too much of that. Like, so Blizzard, Overwatch, for instance, has enough players that they can do quick play and then comp, right? So that you can fuck around and then you can play comp when you wanna be competitive. I don't know. I guess what I would pose is like, what are the advantages and disadvantages of having the kinds of SOTF and PUBG are relatively similar systems, it seems, for ELO.
Not too far off.
Right, and that we have the same complaints with both of them. So, how would you change them?
Oh, it's really hard, isn't it?
What do you mean, like change them? Like
make it better, I think he means.
Yeah, just
how would we improve them
to make them more representative of both some balance of skill and time investment.
I feel like you can't. I feel like it's always going to be, if you have a yellow like leaderboard, it's always going to be like a grind. But I feel like it should be like split up. If something like have a monthly or 3 month, like the top 1,000 get into like a Alma 3 had like, they had like a leaderboard, and then they would have like a tournament, like a mini tournament. That just, I don't know. Like, you can't really. It's always going to be a grind. That's the thing. Yeah. You always have to play a lot to be in the top of the leaderboards. So I don't know how you can make it better.
I think I might be going against the grain here, but I've always felt like, although it needs a bit of tweaking probably, I quite like King of the Kill system, where it goes on your best 10 games. I know you're probably going to disagree with me on that. I know you probably will, but in some regards, I think that's a little bit more elegant than having to put X amount of hours in, because if you die early, then you lose 40 yellow, you don't die, stuff like that. I quite like having a selection of your games going towards your overall, like, you can maybe pick 10 or 15 games. These are my best 10 or 15 games. Rate me on these best 10 or 15 games. I didn't really like. I don't really like these. You gain points, you lose points, you gain points, you lose points. It's kind of artificial to me, and it seems like it is purely a mechanic just to keep people playing and grinding, which it is.
We had a request for dogs. Yeah. Oh, hey, welcome back, Trey.
Dogs. Oh, look, the host arrived.
Wait, what do you mean? I thought we had an intermission. Did we not have an intermission?
And we're back.
Hi, Trey.
I thought we were doing like a halftime. Is that not?
Yeah, you missed the wardrobe malfunctions, though.
Yeah.
We have wardrobe malfunctions. Did Stifler wear his birthday suit for the show?
Underneath this, I'm like a newsreader, Trey. Underneath the camera, it's all naked, man.
You're like an onion. You're like a Scoom onion. Just have to peel back the layers.
Well, going back to what Stifler was saying about the H1Z1 the system. I feel like H1Z1 is, their system is more like the top players in the leaderboard. You could say are the more like the better players, like more skillful than the PUBG leaderboards, like individual players, because like getting 30 kills, 10 games of 30 kills is like really good. Like you would have to be a really good player to do that. In PUBG, you can be a decent player that just grinds a lot in a safe way, and you can be in a leaderboard. You know what I mean? You can be that top 10, top 20, but that guy doesn't have the aim or the skill for H1Z1, for example, And that way I understand, but it becomes too boring, man. The H1Z1, like, it's so repetitive because you want kills that you just don't care about each game. At least for a streaming perspective. Like, the cool thing about PUBG is like every game counts. Every game is different. That's the fun ability of like streaming, at least for me, and playing every day, like to grind. Like I don't mind that. SOTF became really repetitive the same way in the ELO. Everyone was doing the same thing, pump and shotguns, pump and T-Rexes over and over and over again, even versus decent or bad players, it was just a grind. You were just grinding like without thinking. You know what I mean? In PUBG, you're always thinking. Every situation you gotta think what you're gonna do next. In SOTF it was just 10 hours.
SOTF partly was because there was so much money on the line, though, Scoom. There was a lot of money to be involved in those tournaments. So what people did is they distilled the game down into the most effective tactic. I know I did. Get a big team,
too, right?
Yeah. Why are you always picking on Decky? You get in FFA it was get a big team, get kiting, get some grenades and a pistol, and win games type of thing. And people distilled it down to the most effective tactics. So if you're ace, you just went and got saber every game, or something along those lines. but
Stifler really dislikes ace.
Jig 2.
I like ace. I just hated sabers in FFA. Hated sabers so much. Oh my god, they were so broken.
It was the easiest to be in the top 10, man. It was the smartest strat to be in the top position. I would do it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you went Pterodons 3 games in a row, so we know you can do it.
Yeah, the sabers of the sky.
Scoom's the reason they nerfed Pteranodons. Christ. They're like, wait a minute, he's just sitting up in the air there for 5 minutes. That's not good.
Yeah.
He's having a coffee.
He drops down with a pistol at the end when there's one guy left who's got broken legs and 3 Sarkos on him and just shoots him in the face. I win again.
Hey, but you can't say Scoom's not smart. I mean,
he is smart.
It's like the time that DJ won that the shipwreck tournament while not killing anyone because he just rode around like a raptor the whole time. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, as long as you just don't die, that's the point. No, that's basically how I get the top 10 in Battlegrounds. I die. I get top 10 and I die with like 2 kills every time because I just try to avoid everyone I see.
Yeah, that's better L for you, man. It's
Icebox had the best ever SOTF win. He made a metal box.
Well, it wasn't him. It was his teammate.
Well, his teammate made a metal box. The best tactic ever. It's the best thing I've ever seen. Yeah. Just this big metal box in the center. It was great. And then they nerfed building them at the mid, which was sad.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the true in SOTF what's one I look for? The true sign that you are a skilled or a thoughtful player is when they nerfed something because you did something with it, right? That is essentially what SOTF was, just a series of nerfs because of things different players did.
That's how they did updates and patches. They would watch a tournament, a guy did let's say 50 Argentavis, we're nerfing the Argentavis. They're doing a box, we're nerfing the box. You're like, whoever won with a strategy, they just nerfed it. That's what they did, man. Like, they didn't listen to the community. Yo, we want this balance, we want this and that. No, we're going to watch a tournament. Oh, Argentavis, nerf! Yes, that's what it is, man.
The thing is as well, to pull that tactic off.
That's what Drake was. Drake was like that. He was in chat saying that stuff all the time.
To pull that tactic off and get all those Argentavises, it was hard to do. It was hard to pull off. There was no appreciation. There was kind of, to do it the way they did it was kind of hard to pull off, to be fair.
The thing is, we've been calling for enough way before the tournament. That's the thing. That's the issue. We said the Argentavises were so easy to tame, and you can tame so many of them pretty easily. But they didn't listen to until someone did it on the tournament, and then they listened, you know?
The worst was when they nerfed stuff between the end of the season and the tournament one season. Remember, they nerfed Spinos? Like, the season ended and the tournament playoffs were like the next week, and they nerfed Spinos in between, but didn't nerf Rexes. That was the missed one. That was the point where I was like,
Didn't they nerf the Rexes too, though?
Yeah, but they nerfed them after the game.
Oh, was it after?
Yeah. So Spinos were just shit for a week, and Rexes were great.
Yeah.
It was like okay. And then I remember some wildcard person in chat was like, we were supposed to nerf Rexes. I was like, yeah, I did.
What? In passing, like, oh, we're out of bread. What do you know?
Weren't we supposed to nerf that dinosaur, guys? I'm not sure. I don't remember, really.
I mean, how could you forget it? That's like their tactic, you know? I'm surprised.
And now for the $65,000 tournament.
Right. If it kept going the way it was, it would have just been everyone with like a stone pick, because that would be the thing that wasn't nerfed, and everyone was just like beating each other in the middle. Like,
I still wouldn't have made it in the middle. I would have died off Neganura.
I believe in you, Jackie. To be fair, lots of half decent players died to Meganuras in tournament games. I mean, look at Mr. Glider. He died.
I knew it was coming.
In the tournament game.
Really?
Yeah, he did. 39th position. I only mentioned it because before that, he told me for ages about how he had this great tactic for the game. He was like, "You're gonna see, Stiff. I can't tell you what it is. I can't tell you. Like, you're gonna see it when I get it. We're gonna see it when I get in." And I'm like, I'm looking at the death log. Mr. Glider has died to Meganuras. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm glad you didn't tell me.
Oh. Okay, so Enema wants me to ask about macros. How do y'all feel about that? Do you think that is cheating? Do you think it's okay?
That discussion was was an ongoing discussion in SOTF for so long, man. The clicking macros. I always thought it was a third-party program that was, in my opinion, a cheating thing, especially the force feeding that you would have it. Like, clicking was part of the game, and the fact that you can get an external thing to click faster for you, like super fast, insanely fast, inhuman fast. It was, for me, that was cheating. Like, you could, with the macro, even though they tried to fix it, they never fixed it, by the way. I don't know what fix they did. You could still bypass it. You could heal T-Rexes and stuff like that insanely fast. It was ridiculous, man. Like,
yeah, don't use macros. Just get carpal tunnel syndrome like every other normal.
I mean, I didn't like the system. I didn't like the clicking system. I agree
Wildcard never straight up said they didn't approve of it, correct?
Yes, they did.
In one of the
in
tournaments.
the first tournament game, they said do not use them.
Okay. I thought they never fully addressed it, and I was always like, I mean, if they're not going to address it, I think it's shady. But I didn't macro. I mean, I didn't ever play like I never was try hard enough. But no, I always thought it was shady. But like I thought they never really addressed it, so I was like, I mean,
they only addressed
what you guys are going to do.
I think they only addressed it in one of the last stand tournaments, like the early tournaments, and then they never addressed it again. I don't think they ever like they probably said it word by mouth, but never like formally. I don't think nothing would have happened if they caught you or anything like that. It was just like fair play.
Word of mouth.
Yeah, word of mouth.
So they're basically playing the telephone game. So it's like, I whispered to Jer Baron, "Hey, Jer Baron," no. And then
I will say
the Scoom.
I pushed them a lot on chats and on Twitter about it. I did, and people at the time probably say I did push a lot, and I asked constantly for an answer about whether they were allowed or not and what they were going to do or not, and I never got one. Every tournament season, like every month would pass, and they wouldn't actually, give a firm answer either way on it. I think it just became this big elephant in the room after a while, and it also became like a weird nuclear arms race. Because if you weren't using one, you were at a massive disadvantage over anyone that was. It was a real shitty thing because what your effectiveness at clicking versus a guy macro clicking is a whole other thing. And they also put themselves into a corner with it because their official tournament caster. And I'm not calling him out or bitching on his own YouTube channel had a guide on how to set up a macro to full speed. So there was just so many different messages. Initially it was don't use them. Then it was don't use them, but we're not going to do anything about it. So why would I not use them? Then there were people blatantly using them in tournament games. You could just see like a saber go from 0 health to full in like 15 seconds or something. Just I love sabers. I love them.
It should have just had a hold. They should have just had a hold down button for full speed, and that's it, man.
Yeah.
Just a one click. That's it.
That was in a patch note. Use stack was in a patch note, Scoom. Yeah. Remember? It was in a patch note. They just never put it in the game. They actually had a patch notes for SOTF, and they had like use all stack, remotely use all stack. It's going to be put in the game, and they just never put it in.
But yeah, because they only nerf
already
things.
had their macro. It's all right.
They don't buff them.
Well, that and what you were saying, Stiff, for me was always the problem is that a simple clicker could have such drastic effect on the outcome of a game. Like you've just got a broken mechanic at that point.
Yeah.
That's just all there is.
And the dancing around it never helped anyone. Either you say, yep, it's fine, so then everyone could just get on the same level, or you say, no, it's not. And that whole, the fuzziness around it is what I didn't like the most. The fuzziness of, can I use this? Can I not? So I just never used it.
Yeah. The thing is, no one liked the clicking note. For example, going back to like Type Force, like I understand his point of view why he didn't want to click. Like it's really annoying to click, man. Like how many times we all click in SOTF in our careers, man.
Yeah, I know.
Like so much clicking, especially like Rexes and stuff. It's insane. But yeah, and also like force feeding, like also like grabbing the boxes in the middle. Like there was a lot of players that would vacuum clean shit.
The
like
Hoover.
Yeah. The
Hoover. E-macro, wasn't it? It was an E-macro people used.
Yeah, it was like a Hoover macro, and it was insane. Like I never used any macros myself, by the way. I never used clickers, and I think like a Kappa SOTF guys, we never used it, Kappa Prime. So until
I don't even think I got good at getting boxes in the middle. I think I ran in there and got like.
I never went into the middle. Yeah, whenever Yaki's in there, he's has a Hoover man that taught to the middle with the Hoovers. Like we never go middle when they're there. They're just hoovering everything, man. You would have fucking a hide chest, and then you look to Tottenham, man. They all have slingshots with full hide. All right, bro. Okay, cool shit, bro. Good stuff.
Remember when there were spears and bows in them as well, Scoom? Spears and bows.
Oh yeah, spears were great. I just remember getting taken out like 2 seconds into every single one.
Yeah, there were bows for a while as well. There were bows for a while. There were bows and arrows. That was the most savage the game ever was. That was the most savage when there were bows and arrows in boxes. The mid was.
Is it? Am I wrong in thinking there was no hide at that point too?
I don't remember.
I feel like there might not have been hide armor also in that era. I don't remember.
Brad Master brought up a good point.
In the middle.
Yeah. The only macro I ever thought was really cool. I never used it. I wish I had it. Was the water skin macro to fill up all your water skins because that was
Yeah, he just I saw some dude just went in the water and it filled all of them up at once. And I carried like 30 water skins at a time every game.
For medical
that was the dream.
Handy for the medical brews as well.
Yeah, Decky made more water skins than anything. He'd have like 7 arrows and like 45 water skins.
Oh yeah.
Still forgot to drink them.
Pistols. Remember pistols and ammo and red drop as well? Oh,
saddles.
That was badass. Yeah, saddles I didn't like. I didn't ever like crafting saddles though. It was so random.
Now we're just like a bunch of old men sitting on our porches in rocking chairs. Be like, remember when they had guns in the drops? That was such a time.
Remember when STF had 4,000 players? Oh.
They don't make drops anymore like they used to. Get out of here! All right, we're getting away from the battle royale thing. I guess so. Let's go back to like PUBG, right? PUBG, since we're all playing it. What would I guess if everyone like we go around and talk like what would be one thing that you wish you could see in it, like to add some more depth and variation that, or even
saber-tooths,
dinosaurs, yeah.
Saber-tooths.
Just bring all the dinosaurs from Ark, bring it to PUBG, right?
I want saber-tooths and I want pteranodons.
Right. So then in the middle, what you have is like people riding motorcycles and then sabers as well.
It'd be quite epic, wouldn't it?
So basically, what I just asked a question, you're like, make Battlegrounds more like SOTF.
They could add a functioning bow that you could craft too. Maybe you could have a little crafting system they could add. And,
there's not enough spears in Battlegrounds.
I mean, to be fair, they are basically the same engine anyway, so it can't be hard to import this stuff.
Probably.
Stifler's like, if they could have Mega Piranhas, that would be great.
I wouldn't like to swim from military to the main island with Mega Piranhas, though.
Yeah. And then SterDekie could keep his streak going of dying Mega Piranhas at least once every.
Wow! Trey with the shots at Decky there.
I mean, come on! If we're not going to just own it, then like I'm the same thing.
Not everybody can put 1,700 hours in and still be that bad.
It takes real persistence to beat that ELO after 11 hours.
To be fair, Decky had the all-time highest FFA kills.
Yeah, and probably the reason that all those Bobs never came back to the game either, because every one of those kills
now
in the
thinking about
seconds.
By the numbers, Decky pushed more people away from the game than anyone else.
Wow, it's when Decky came into the scene, it started going downhill. Actually,
yeah. I think there's a certain causality there, isn't there?
Wait a minute.
It's not Wildcard. It's not the stream snipers. It's Decky.
It's not Decky killing them.
That's it, boys. We've got to the root core of what happened with SOTF.
Then they go watch his stream and watch him die to like a Mega Nura or Mega Piranha, and they're just furious.
that guy killed me? What the fuck?
This game is trash. Like,
well, we can at least call Jet now and tell him we fixed it.
Just ban them, bring it back.
No, we need him to buff Decky.
Yeah, this is a good point. They rewarded him for killing SOTF by giving him a 1080 Ti as well.
Yeah, they did.
Congratulations, you did what we couldn't do. We put $500,000 into the game. We couldn't kill it. Here's a 1080 Ti. Well done.
Oh my god, my favorite. Okay. All right. So it has been an hour. So we unfortunately have to end the show on that note. But I do want to mention for XPulZ was just approved for doing for
custom games
partnership. Yeah, for custom games. So we're gonna start doing custom games soon. If everyone would like to participate, and you guys can try to do some cool stunts on the motorcycle and kill people like probably Jer Baron and I, since we're trash.
I think Baron's better than you.
Everyone's better than me. You know?
Well, we haven't worked out who's better between you and SterDekie yet.
Oh, okay. In Pub Battlegrounds, he's way better than me. In SOTF, every time we fought, I've killed him.
True.
Oh, the gauntlet's been thrown down.
Yeah, just said it.
Boys, I think you need to go on the DM server and sort this out between you.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so we're gonna end the stream there. We're gonna do this show twice a month. We'll get people will have other discussions. I appreciate you guys joining me. This was a lot of fun. My face actually hurts from that last bit. The last bit, my face hurts so much. So thank you for that. Would you like to have any parting words, Stifler? We'll start with you.
Why start with me? Why are you picking on me?
Because I don't know. You're the saltiest. I feel like if you go like third or last, you'll get upset about it.
I just don't. Thanks for having me on. I mean,
get out of here.
Oh, look, right. Jat's there. We can't stop now. Jat's here. Come on, look, Jat's here.
No. There goes my parting words.
Come on, we've got to stay for Jat now.
Jat for the win.
Well, there we go.
All right. Well, now it's official. And now Dekie's gonna get something else in the mail from Wildcard.
Don't put it out with your boot, Dekie.
leave with my thoughts on sabers. Sabers are very balanced, and I enjoy them as animals in the game. Everyone that uses sabers is skillful. Everyone that used the saber was a very skillful person that fully deserved the win they got with the saber because it's a very skillful animal to use.
Okay, well, I didn't necessarily mean like an SOTF like
well, someone said something in chat. I'm interacting with chat, Trey. This is streamer thing. Interact with chat,
No, this isn't a stream. This is a talk show, man. Okay,
It's still streaming, isn't it?
Whatever. Get out of here. All right. So we're gonna end this before this keeps going on. You guys are ruining for me. Thanks, Stifler, for ruining ending remarks. Now no one gets it. You're right. It was a mistake to go with you first. Right.
I told you.
Right. So we'll have this show again, and we will probably have Scoom, Jer Baron, SterDekie, and Stifler replacement back. I appreciate everyone for showing up, and so we'll see you Sunday. And Jat, I know you're here. Jat will be our guest unless something happens where he has to work or his internet goes out. His probably internet will go out, right?
The garage door opens.
Yeah, exactly. And he won't be able to show up, but if none of that happens, we will see you guys on Sunday with Jat.
Sounds good.
He'll answer why they helped SterDekie. All right, see you guys.
All right. See you. Thanks.
Bye.